My name is Brianna Mylon, and I'm a communication specialist for Protect Your Circle at Action for a Better Community. And I'm doing my part in protecting my circle by being vaccinated. I didn't really have much hesitancy about getting the vaccine. A lot of people told me I was the first, one of their first uh, friends or whatever, colleagues to get the vaccine when it was available. I qualified under the comorbidities when all those things kind of mattered at the beginning of the year. But I also was in a very unique position because I worked as a TV news producer here in Rochester. So I had access to a lot of information. I was, very privy to what the CDC was talking about, with the FDA, what levels everything was in. I knew a lot of the facts already, so I didn't have a lot of hesitancy, and I was very comfortable with my decision to get the vaccine.
Community.
Yeah, I definitely did. I didn't take much convincing for like my mother and my grandmother. They were high risk, so they wound up also being some of the first ones to get it that I knew of. Um, I still have several siblings who are not vaccinated, and I try and use my position of knowledge as much as I can. When having debates or whatever, not necessarily arguments. Like I don't want to get in an argument about something like this, but like in a debate or talking about it, I definitely make sure I have my facts and my resources together. Because I know that that's what's out there. Like this, it's facts that it's scientific information that we've used to, you know, navigate our entire lives, and that didn't suddenly just change. So I use my knowledge and the things that I know I have access to share that as much as possible. But it seems like a lot of brick walls right now. I think coming from a place that's not combative, being able to have a healthy discussion, because you never know. Like maybe a few conversations is exactly what someone needs in order to get comfortable with the idea. Just being open to talking, on a one-on-one basis, not necessarily because you think you know more or because you think are more intelligent or whatever could be in your mind when you're having these conversations with people who are a little more hesitant about the vaccine. Just coming to them as not an educator, but as their brother or sister or whatever you are, their sibling and cousin. That's how you need to talk to them. You need to talk to them as someone who cares about them, rather than talking down or making them feel like they're a student. It's important to be vaccinated because, especially for my loved ones, because I have a lot of high risk people. My mother and grandmother have diabetes. My mom is a cancer survivor. My grandmother is over 70 with arthritis. Like, I have a lot of people in my family who are high risk. And if they catch COVID, it can be a life or death thing. Whereas someone who's younger, even if they hit the hospital, they're still expected to bounce back. Like I have a lot of family that wouldn't be the case. And it's just important also because the biggest thing is helping our hospital systems right now. They are very close to capacity. They understaffed. Like it's just not a good situation to be in, especially when we're honestly still at the height of a pandemic that it is not going anywhere anytime soon because people decide to not get vaccinated yet. And it's just important to keep the hospitals as clear as possible for people who actually need them. It's a lot of hesitancy in the Black and brown communities when it comes to the vaccine. And the biggest thing I've always given is that the hesitancy and mistrust is not misplaced. We have been ignored and abused by these systems all of our lives for generations. And there's no doubt in my mind that you're valid for feeling that way, for feeling like you should not trust this place, this where they're saying like you need to put this in your body. And there's definitely validity there. But what I ask is that you take a step back. You take a step back and you look at the situation for really what it is. It differs highly from situations you may bring up, which is like the Tuskegee experiment, where they withheld drugs from people. From personal experiences, because that's a one-on-one, that's the micro level of a different kind of situation. We're saying look at a bigger picture of people who, we've lost thousands upon thousands of people have been killed by this virus in the last 2 years. And that death toll is only going to go up. You know, like we were hoping with the vaccines, maybe this year wouldn't be so deadly, but I think we surpassed the amount of people who died in 2020. And more people died this year than when the pandemic actually began. Um, and it's just to look at it from that perspective of these people who have lost their lives because of this virus, if they had a chance to get vaccinated, would they come back and do that over? There's a huge chance of that. You know, that vaccine could have saved their life. So just looking at this as a way to ensure that you're doing absolutely everything you can to protect yourself and your family and the people you love most, and you're not putting them in harm's way for theories that can be easily debunked. And that's always been my thing too. It's just a lot of the reasons behind hesitancy are easily, you know, can be debunked, can be falsified, that are false. Just use your facts, use your common sense, use the resources you have, and really think about why or why not you're getting this vaccine.